Welcome back to the movement, everybody. We got a very, very honored guest with us today. He's an Ottawa local, aspiring YouTuber. He's making a lot of noise on the scene. His name is Milad. You can find him on Milad QTV.
Yeah, Milad Q, YouTube.
Milad QTV is one of our fellow kings. Milad, it's a pleasure to have you, my man. I got my beautiful co-host, Malak El Ganal. We got David Diabetes.
We got what?
That's what we call him, is David Diabetes.
Like an English
you know what I mean?
translation of the name.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because, you know, it's funny enough, if you think about realistically, most immigrant names, like a lot of the Arab names, we have like animal names, like Nimr,
Yeah.
you know,
We do.
Asad, lion, tiger, you know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
think a
yeah.
lot of Europeans or Caucasians, they have like Arab names, they don't even know it.
Like what?
Like even David. Like Daoud was before David, bro.
Yeah, I
You know
guess
what
so. If you want to do the translation, like Yussef in Spanish is Jose.
I'm just saying that because like our languages
Milad is
originated
Milad, it's
before.
original, you know what I
I
mean?
think it means birth.
How old is English? English isn't even that old. You know what I mean? But like if you look at Arabic and our languages, they came way before in these languages. So if you look back to those days, David was Daoud.
I have to save our brother Milad from drinking that Nestle Pure Life, man. You know,
Facts.
Nestle, you're flopping on that, man. You
Yeah.
gotta go with the good water.
That's a fact.
I can't wait to see the comments on that, the controversy that's gonna pop.
Yeah, but
What's
water?
a good water? What's not a good water? You know what I mean?
Bro, he gave me a whole lesson on water, unhealthy water.
You'd be shocked, bro.
I know.
There's a lot in the tap water.
You know what, man? It's because what ended up happening is everyone thinks success is money. You know what I mean? I want to get into your story, but
Right.
since we're here, is everyone thinks success is money. But when realistically, whenever you start to really delve into the world, it's not even on the top 10. So one of the things I started doing is one of the biggest top 5 is health and relationships. So I said, let's be very honest. It's very sad. I'm 32 years old. I was 310 pounds. So I'm like, man, come on. There's no way. So I got to make a change. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And then I seen this passage that said the Arabs are going to be overfed. And I'm like, yeah, I'm way too overfed, bro. I got to cut that out. You know what I mean?
Yo, you see Kuwait? Oh my God, bro.
Bro, you see the lamb they have?
Oh my
I'm with them, bro. What do you mean? Where are you from?
I'm from Afghanistan.
Oh my God, bro. That mantu is crazy, man.
Yeah.
You guys got
yeah.
some good food, bro.
Good food.
Yeah. Apparently,
Rock.
yeah. I mean, I low-key don't like. I don't like onions. So,
Really?
Yeah. So me and Mantu aren't like best friends.
They're not Afghani anymore.
That's crazy.
They're a hybrid.
I also don't like the traditional dish, which is just like the rice, carrots, and raisins. Because
You don't like kabli, eh?
no
Wow.
What's that dumpling
he's,
thing
he's
called?
like me.
Mantu.
Is that what it is? The dumpling
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
one.
bro. That's
There's like
fire.
ground beef in there.
Yeah.
Onions. Yeah, that's pretty much.
I know
it.
someone that makes some fire mantu, bro. Like, I actually got
Anyways.
all right.
So we get it from the restaurants. I don't know what David Diabetes is talking
I
about.
like your
you know?
homemade.
But let me ask you this. So what do you like instead? Because you literally come from one of the finest cuisines. So,
Dude, I'm basic. I'm gonna disrespect myself here. I like chicken tenders, just like basic
chicken
burgers,
tenders.
pasta.
What are you, a 5-year-old? What are you
He's
talking
deep-
about?
he's deep.
Bro, that's the joke with my friends and I. It's like anytime we go to like any bougie restaurant, it's just like I'll look at the menu for like pasta,
Yeah.
pizza, whatever else.
Okay,
they got.
pasta's pasta, man. Nobody can play games with pasta. But chicken tenders, it's like diesel, eh?
Yeah, we're hitting
Listen, you get some chicken tenders tossed in some like sweet chili. That's fire, bro.
Okay, it is fire. Okay. I don't know about all that. I won't lie to you,
I'm
man.
not agreeing that. If I'm going to a restaurant, I'm not getting the chicken tender.
What's your go-to dish?
Honestly, I like steak.
Okay,
I'm a big steak guy.
Steak. I actually recently did some blood work. They told me I have very high cholesterol. So
Really?
I'm trying to stay away from steak. But yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I got gout at 25, so I can't even say anything.
Make
man.
sure you're sipping on some olive oil, bro.
Yeah. Gotta fry
I
my
don't know if you
chicken
know about
tenders
this.
in that, bro.
Oh my God. we're
No,
back to
not
chicken
fry it.
tenders.
There's like actually a lot of health benefits to olive oil.
Yeah.
Like if you just like take a teaspoon of it in the morning or something.
Oh, just
But not
raw
not cook
olive
it.
oil?
When you cook these things, it changes the elements. But if you take it raw, olive oil is actually really, really good for you. I'll help break down that cholesterol.
So you do better in the States, man. You got the in and outs.
You know?
Yeah, that's
You
my
know what I
spot.
mean?
So you're
Really?
you're a
Raising
hamburgers
Cane's.
you're a hamburgers hot dog kind of guy.
Like, okay, what's your favorite fast food?
Ottawa's so diverse, bro. You can go to like any immigrant place. It's
How
fast
the hell are you
food.
saying diverse for, bro? We're not in the States here.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? We got like two chicken. You got two. Let's be honest. The fried chicken spots suck. You know what I mean?
Popeyes is
No, it's Popeyes,
happy
bro.
with
You go to the States, you have more options and stuff like that. I feel like Toronto has a better variety for food than Ottawa.
Well, I mean, they
does.
got like Chick-fil-A.
Can you believe that, eh?
they got
Ottawa's never gonna do that.
Jollibees.
They also have Jollibees.
The Filipino, fried chicken. That's
See?
I've never had that, but I heard it's low-key trash.
No,
I
it's
don't know.
great.
Burger King Whoppers on a Wednesday, bro. I grew up in the hood, so I like the Whopper Wednesdays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Burger
Toonie
King?
Tuesdays.
I swear to God, Whopper
Remember the
Wednesday.
Toonie Tuesdays? Remember that? KFC?
I remember it had another name, but we can't refer to it that name
no.
anymore.
I don't know about Burger King, bro. I'm starting to doubt your opinions here.
You can't say that.
But
after
you're
you
asking me
can't-
a fast food.
Wait
I'm not a
minute.
fast food
Listen.
guy.
You've lost all credibility once you said chicken tenders. Once you
That's
said
a
you don't eat anything but chicken tenders.
I mean,
So
you're,
Jack Astor's is your spot.
Jack has to actually fire, but I get their bow tie Asiago chicken pasta. Or something
Actually,
like
it's
that.
funny enough. I can't hate it. That's actually a good one too.
Yeah, that's fire. I don't get like chicken tenders there. I'll just get the steak or the pasta. But like Jollibees is just spaghetti from a drive-through. That's weird.
You know what? It's a different culture. You know what I mean? The Philippines, they eat different, but they do know how to make good fried chicken. Like I can't complain about Jollibee's chicken.
I don't know, man.
You should do a food review instead of McDonald's.
That could be a potential
Yeah,
challenge.
yeah,
You know
do
what?
it.
Let's talk about that. We haven't even, talked about
I want to
you
get
and-
to your story.
yeah, what you do and,
Get into it.
what makes you different.
Oh, damn, we're hitting with the hard-hitting questions.
I just want to know how you started off in the where did you come up with, especially since you like I've seen a lot of your stuff actually. We're doing a lot of looking at all your videos. A lot of them is Ottawa centric, and it's funny enough because most of us hate the place and we find it the most boring place in the world. Hence your video, most boring city in the world, and you're trying to find things to do. You're playing hopscotch and stuff.
Yeah.
But what made you get into a space where it's not really that popular in terms of doing YouTube and stuff like that? What motivated you?
What made me get into a space like this? I mean, so the goal isn't like to be central around Ottawa. Like I'm not trying, like my mission isn't to be like that Ottawa YouTuber. I think it's more like, if you think of like states, they already have a shit ton of Mr. Beasts. Like they have Mr. Beast obviously himself, but then they have like a million replicas. And then you come to Canada and we don't really have that much. Like we have some people who try to be like Mr. Beast and like challenge content and stuff like that, but we don't really have like that guy from Canada that does like challenge content. No one that I can think of at least. They're all very niched. Like there's only one dude, Downey Live, I think his name is, and he's from Canada, but he does like transportation content, like taking like the trains from like Vancouver to, I don't know, Montreal.
And that's supposed to be fun. Just sit
well,
there
that's
and take
niche
videos
content. So like
It's like the scenery.
travelers,
People like to see the
travelers love
scenery
that.
and stuff.
I
I think I've
just
seen content like that.
I just fast forward it and just change the speed or something like that.
Think of like, sometimes when we're hanging out, we put on the fireplace, like a background.
Not sometimes, it's every time,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean-
What are you talking about, man? The fireplace is a vibe, bro.
Some people like to kind of travel.
Okay, so
Yeah, I mean I have a friend who's a YouTube strategist, so he works with like a bunch of like larger creators, and
interesting.
his whole job is like strategy, like figuring out like how can we take you from like 1 million subscribers to 5 million to 10 to 20 and expand beyond.
It's like very niche consulting marketing. I've never heard of that.
It's very interesting.
Wait till my story unfolds here.
Yeah.
But this guy and I, we hop on a call probably like once a month, and we just talk some strategy. And I mean, we both like talking about YouTube just generally. So I remember he made a good point where he was like, "There's no like Mr. Beast of Canada," and on top of that, I think like Ottawa doesn't necessarily have any content that represents Ottawa. So I was like, okay, a good strategy could be like do broad content that applies to like people in like New Zealand, but it's really about Ottawa, which was like that McDonald's video. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah.
But that was like that was actually the world's worst McDonald's. And I don't remember how I came up with the idea, but I then stumbled, like I went down this rabbit hole and I realized that it's Rideau Street McDonald's. So then I was like, okay, this is perfect. I mean, I didn't expect it to perform that well in short form content, to be honest. I mean, I kind of just thought it's just gonna perform average. But yeah, that one took off, and there was a ton of people who seemed to enjoy the Ottawa content. So I did a follow up, and then that one on short form also did pretty well. I think they both did like 1.3 mil each, I think, on Instagram.
I know you did, I think 90K likes or something on one of the videos.
Yeah, that would be the McDonald's one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like so the McDonald's video also ended up getting picked up by Narcity.
Really?
So,
Nice.
yeah, so then Narcity hit me up, and they were asking if I wanted to do freelance content for them. So like I'll make videos, but they own exclusivity to it.
Trash.
But then Daily Hive also hit me up because I think what they want is someone to make Canadian content, which they can just repost. So then it was kind of like a conversation with both companies. But I don't know if I want to give exclusivity to either companies because the idea is like I will make a video and like I come up with the idea, so I do the whole pre-planning and all that.
But it's Nar City.
Yeah, but it goes to Narcity. But the dilemma is like as a smaller creator, it's like you trade that time for exposure. But I think like exclusivity is a bit tough because they want like they can post it as soon as they post it, they will tell me when I can post it. So that could be like 24 hours after the fact, or that could be like a week later. So anyways, yeah, I was in the talks with them and we just said we'd circle back in a couple months.
Well, let me get you. The way I look at it is realistically, if these people are reaching out to you, it means you're clearly doing something right and you have a formula that's working. So they're going to be like, why don't I maximize my profits on this guy?
Absolutely. They're trying to
So
take
I
your
would
value.
say, the way I look at the YouTube game is all about reps.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even with the podcast, man, let's be honest, until you actually start popping, you just have to keep doing content and over and over and over again, right? So I would never give it away in the end of the day if you're going to be doing this for. I don't know how long you feel like doing this for.
Dude, I could do it forever. I mean,
like you enjoy it?
yeah, so it's funny because like I started in 2017, like when I was in grade 12. And the joke was always like my friends and I would always do like these little road trips to like Mooresburg or wherever else that's like North Dundas or something.
Yeah.
And as a joke, I'd always like pull out Snapchat. I'd be like, yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to today's vlog. And it was just like a little recap of today's memories. And then I was like, okay, this is kind of fun. So then I actually like bought a little camera.
Nice.
And yeah, we just started making vlogs. Like it was just like whatever we do, I just record and I would edit. And it was a lot of fun because it was a way to like look back at the channel. Like once we went into university, I would look back at videos from like 2 years ago at the time and be like, oh damn, like we did the Whisper challenge.
Yeah.
And this and that. And I think that's great if you started off as like kind of like a passion project, because I think with time, then I realized like, all right, now I kind of want to take it to like a more creative level. And then you kind of keep going, and then like the team expands a little bit, and then you network and you keep going. I think the idea, like the big picture goal is what attracts me to the YouTube space a lot.
Yeah.
Is even content generally, and like film is like this, which is like you can build your own world and you can build your own characters, and there's no like limits or boxes. Like you can as a child, it was very like, you know, like Caillou and like Teletubbies and stuff like that. I remember as a child, it was always like, imagine living in like the world of Caillou. Like imagine living in this like animated world, right? Where like the grass is super green.
I'm gonna say this right now. Caillou was an asshole, bro. That kid,
yeah. I heard Caillou's a dick, bro.
I used to love Caillou, and as an adult, as a father, I'm like, yo,
That's
what's wrong with
hilarious.
this kid?
Your
This
father?
kid's
Punk.
mad rude.
You're
You're talking to two dads, bro.
Hey, man, I got another one on the way, bro. I'm happy.
damn, bro.
We're not that old, man.
No, that's not what I'm thinking. I just didn't think you had a kid. I don't know why.
You know what? It's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
we don't
no.
want to look too stressed. I guess that's
Why he just left high school in 2017, bro. I left
wow.
high school in 2008. You know what I mean?
Well, you said you're 32, right?
I'm 32.
Yes, you got 9 years on me.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
The first boy now is 2 years and 7 months, and then my wife is giving birth on October 3rd. So Ali and then Musa's coming to a neighborhood near you. Very soon.
we took a half shift. We got
His
personal
daughter's
too quick.
2.
Yeah, 2.
His daughter's 2. None of them are on YouTube.
No, hell no.
You know, it's funny. I would never even show a picture, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are like that. I mean, it makes sense. Like, why do you want your two? Bro, there's a lot of weird people on the internet.
Man, there's a lot of weird people on the internet.
A lot of weird people, and
Nuts.
I try not to like. Sometimes, dude, Reddit is the weirdest spot you could be at.
I agree.
I stay away from Reddit, but once in a while, like the McDonald's video, I was like, this is probably like I posted in like some Ottawa subreddit, and it was some weird people in there, bro. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely keep my kid away from the internet.
Fuck, unbelievable. See, he was asking if I can cuss. I'm cussing already.
There's got to be like at least a little sense of privacy in your life, and like obviously with kids, you don't want to have them vulnerable. Like the internet's insane. It's not a good place to have.
My question to you is, I feel like a lot of people would have the same question. How do you feel when you just pick up random people on the streets and you're just having a random chat? Like sometimes, have you been intimidated by any of them before?
Dude,
Has anybody just acted out of whack or something like that?
I mean, that you never know who you're approaching. So like that person, I mean, like when we were shooting that McDonald's video, I don't even know if we put this in the video, but we had a homeless guy with like a can of beer or something in his hand. And he was like, what are you guys doing? So we were just explaining like, oh, we're doing a video about McDonald's. Like, did you know that? Like, we were just kind of go with the flow. Like, did you know this is the world's worst McDonald's? And he was like, ask me. So we were like, all right. So we kind of like got forced to interview him. then he wanted like he was like super persistent to have my number so that we could send him the video. And I was like, just like, if you
They
search
have
this up-
cell phones.
bro, he had a cell phone. As soon as he opened that phone, the first thing that opened was Tinder. My jaw dropped, bro. That was crazy. I kind of wanted to ask him like to look at his matches, but
You should have. That would have been beautiful content. That would have been incredible.
I didn't. This guy was weird. This guy was on something. So I wasn't trying to like scrap a homeless guy in the middle of the
Well, what's
street.
going on, bro? Yeah, homeless people can't get love.
What are you talking about? The guy just out of nowhere pulls out an iPhone 14 Pro Max. What do you mean it's not blacklisted yet? How'd you get that?
You'd be surprised though, because like in Canada, it's very hard to be homeless due to financial struggle. It usually has to do with a mental health issue or like a substance abuse issue.
Yeah.
So like a lot of these people are, you know, regular folks that just got addicted to something or have mental health issues. It's not
Okay,
usually.
but he's on Tinder. You know what I mean? Where's he going to take her back? His base?
He might be looking for. He might be couch hopping.
What is he?
I
Have a
actually
fucking
know-
back
I
cave
know a
somewhere?
guy
You
who
know
had
what I
a-
mean? That's
I know-
trippy.
I know a guy who had a dating app, and whenever he was like going to a different city, he would go on it so he could couch hop. Like he'd go on a date with a girl just so he could sit at her place at a hotel.
Bro, that's
Seriously?
that's
Which
what the
is-
weekend used to do apparently.
Yeah,
Back when he was homeless.
Really?
he was couch hopping.
Yeah, he
Wild.
used to steal breakfast from their place.
That's actually theirs.
Yeah.
I don't think he has to do now. He has to do that anymore. But
No, definitely not.
But nah, this dude, it was really weird because then he's like, "What's your channel?" And so in my head, I'm like, "We definitely can't like meme anything because now this guy has my channel."
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who this guy is. Like, I don't know anything about him, so I'm just not gonna like mess with him too much. And eventually, like, he was super persistent in keeping conversation going, and like 5 cops came out of nowhere because he had a beer can in his hand and it was open, and then he ended up getting detained.
for sure.
So yeah, I mean, but to go back to your initial question, honestly, to me, everyone is intimidating to an extent because I'm super introverted. Like I don't like doing videos where we have to like go and talk to people. We just kind of realized I have a guy who I work with on the channel. This is separate from the strategist, but what I kind of came to realize is like you need an accountability partner.
Yeah. And
And-
was that Nabi?
Nabi?
I saw one of your videos. I just saw your friends. I thought it would be the same people.
No, that wasn't Nabi. Nabi's in the videos. He's the short one.
He got so excited. That's his boy, bro.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I
right.
tell him all the time, like, bro, I could just put you in my pocket for a video. Like, tiny. But no,
Oh, you're a good man, eh? Gotta have some bullying involved in friendship.
no, it wasn't Nabi. It was his name's Hassan. So Hassan and I will hop on a call every week, and what I'll do is like I'll come up with a list of ideas. He wants 25 ideas every week, and then what we kind of did, like our dynamic was like I have like a sort of analysis paralysis because I used to work with a lot of like larger creators as well. And so I understand how the back end works very well. And I understand like what makes a really good video compared to like a really bad video.
What's some examples of that?
It's things like, for example, like if in the first minute of a video, it's like, hey, oh, what's going on? Oh, haha. And then you start joking with your friends and like, you don't really realize that you're asking someone for their time. So like in the first minute of the video, there's like specifics to it. Like the first 30 seconds, you should like execute on what your title and thumbnail are in a video. So if your video, and that's why like Mr. Beast is one of like the top dogs at this, is like, you know, if he says like, I'm going to be on a $250,000 yacht, in the first 30 seconds, he already takes you through like I'm going to be at $1 yacht, a $500 yacht, a $10,000 yacht, and then like all the way to 250,000. He shows it to you in like the very first 30 seconds. So like then you kind of show the audience like you should stick around, and we have some things to show you, and like you just watch the video unfold. Whereas like a lot of YouTubers will kind of just do like a minute long intro where they're just like joking with their friends, and they're just like they haven't even said what the video is yet. So that's probably like one example I can think of off the top of my head.
That's a good example, though.
Yeah.
Pretty informative to anybody that's out there.
Yeah. So yeah, the issue that I found myself was that production doesn't match the level of, or like ability to execute doesn't match the level of like knowledge, right? Like if you have one cameraman, but you want to do some video that requires you to like go into the middle of the ocean and you only have like access to one boat, then you don't have like drones to get overhead shots. You don't have like multiple angles to watch you like suffer from 2 different ways.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah, so the idea with Hassan was like, here's like the list of 25 ideas every single week. You pick the idea that I'm going to do and I'll just do it. Like, I'm not going to be like hands-on on the selection process of the ideas because I'll take like forever to be like, this idea isn't that good. Like if we do, like one idea was I watched fireworks from an airplane, right? But it's like, in my head, it's like, is that entertaining? Like, what do? You just go on a plane and you just watch fireworks? Like,
Well, I guess sometimes it's different because you're looking at it only from your lens, and maybe somebody else would be interested in something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So Hassan's role is like to come in and be like, I don't care if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea. This is the best one you had this week, or like this month. So we're just gonna like do this video. And so he's like an accountability partner, but it's modeled after like a store, so or like a business, which is like he's my manager in a sense,
Interesting.
or my boss. Like your boss tells you to do something, you just kind of got to do it.
How'd you meet him?
Through a company that I was working with some bigger creators. So do you watch YouTube at all? Or do you watch YouTube at all?
You're gonna hate me because I'm gonna say no. I
do.
I watch a lot of Patrick Bet David, man.
Interesting. I mean, I don't watch YouTube either.
Me neither. I just only watch Patrick Bet David for his podcast.
I don't either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys know Yes Theory? Their YouTube channel.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they're three guys. They're from Montreal initially. Well, they're from a bunch of like different places. One of them's actually Egyptian. But yeah, they met in like university in Montreal. They made a whole channel. I think they're at like 10 million subscribers now.
Nice.
Anyways, their manager, he owns a company called Creator Now. So Creator Now is a community for creators. It's supposed to be like film school redesigned for creators. So every week there's like workshops. There's like, and the workshops are like bigger creators. So it'll be like Logan Paul or his editor. Mr. Beast has been one of these workshops.
Really?
Like Elle Mills from Ottawa. Actually, she didn't do a session, but it's like creators at that level essentially. So yeah, I worked with Creator Now for a little bit, and I met Hassan through that because he was running the operations for that company.
But what's the kind of insight that do you feel like the insights are really incredible? Do you think it's worth it?
100%. I think that, so not only joining that like that places in the community, but also working with them changed the entire trajectory of like everything I understand. Like that changed a lot of my pathing in the YouTube world. I think probably like 2020 was, I think everyone that's trying to figure out YouTube, it's a very like abstract concept. It's like you just Google like, how do I get 1,000 views? How do I get 100,000 views? Like, how do I gain subscribers? And I'm sure it's like, and that applies to everything, like podcasts. Like, have you ever Googled like how to gain podcast listeners?
100%.
Right?
Let's be honest.
It's like the basics. So like Creator Now's job, the entire company's like thing is like to teach you how to do all that. And it's not like that BS that you get from like random YouTube gurus who are like, yeah, I have a cash cow channel, but it's like, it's people who've actually done it and they can just keep doing it. Like they can keep making channels from 0 to 1 million. So what happened was there was a YouTuber named Eric. In 2020, he was on a mission to go from 0 subscribers to 1 million. And this is before short form content was a thing. Like this is before like TikTok was really blowing up.
So how much do you think that has boosted the ability for people to go fast track to success? Like crazy, eh?
Exponential.
Okay.
Yeah. Short form content?
I just want to give contrast so people understand what short form content did for creators.
Yeah, 100%. I think because think of it this way. With YouTube, there's so many variables like your thumbnail. There's something called click-through rate. So if your thumbnail is catchy enough, then people click. But like for every 100 people, only one person clicks. That's not that good. You have a 1% like click-through rate or you know whatever the math is. I think it would be one. Math. Yeah,
1 out of 100.
Yeah. So the idea is like if you have a good click-through rate, then good. YouTube will kind of push your video out to more people. Now, if your view duration, like if you have like a 10-minute video, but people are clicking off in like 15 seconds, then your average view duration sucks. So now YouTube is pushing it out less. And those are like the two main things. But for shorts, so like YouTube will just push it to X amount of people. If it stops at the view duration, like you aren't doing well, like in the first 30 seconds of the video, then YouTube will stop promoting you. And that's how it works. It's like, it does it in like a group of 100. And then say you do well with 100 people, then it'll push like a group of like 500 and then 1,000. And then it just keeps going. Shorts will literally just throw it into the shorts algorithm. So you cast a much broader net when you post shorts.
Interesting.
So you have way more like accessibility to like everything when you post a short rather than when you post a long form. But the issue is that with long form videos, you build community. With shorts, you don't. So like people, I have a lot of guys that I know that went from like 0 to like 500K or 0 to like 100K subscribers in like 2 months. But when they post shorts, they get like 29 million views, like 10 million views, 30 million views.
Which is wild anyways. But do you get paid on those, on shorts? No.
Yeah, you get paid like terrible. You get paid in like pennies.
Oh, okay.
And TikTok is even worse. But they post like a long form video, like an 8-minute video, but it'll do like 100 views. and they have like 500K subscribers.
Wow.
And it's because YouTube's short algorithm is separate from their long form algorithm. So like the whole thing is two different categories. They're not the same. You know
So
what I
even
mean?
so, basically, if you look at any of these numbers, the shorts are really skewing those numbers regardless.
Yeah, kind of.
By the way, do they have these metrics at Creator? Did you call it Creator Now? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Create Now is a company.
So do they? So whenever you go to these workshops, I'm just trying to understand something. Do they have statistics, metrics? Are they showing things like that? Like, what are they showing you precisely, at least, to be able to help you elevate your channel, right? Because analytics is huge for any channel, right?
Yeah, so the goal of Creator Now in its early stages was the very like first and foremost thing is like YouTubers don't have a community. A lot of them. Like the bigger YouTubers have their own people.
Yeah.
But like smaller creators, it's just like everyone is just in this deep water trying to figure out how to swim. So the goal of Creator Now was like, let's just like put a bunch of small creators, big creators, any type of creator, like whatever niche they're in, into this one community. So they did boot camps, so like 6-week boot camps. And for
Wow,
6
this is
weeks,
for 6 weeks.
yeah, so for 6 weeks, they 300 creators because they would cap me, and you can make friends with other creators. You can make friends of other niches. You can make friends with dudes who are like 10x your channel size. And then there were teams. So like then you have teams, and your teams like the whole purpose was like you need to post one video a week. That's all they wanted.
What is this, like Love Island? Everybody's on an island or something like that?
No, that'd be
There's
pretty
300
awesome.
people
I guess
there.
it's a school of elevation.
Or is
right?
this remote?
This is all remote.
Okay.
This is all from like your phone. There was an app, and you just go on the app, and it's like
Interesting.
so. There's group chats. It's like one like think of Discord, right? You have your home, which is like where everyone hangs out, but then you have like an analytics tab. So people are like, hey, I have 1% click through rate on my thumbnail. Is that good?
Okay, so like 10 different lobbies of people.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's incredible, actually.
Yeah, and then you have like video rooms. So then like people can go in video rooms, and like sometimes they do like silent library style where they're just editing in silence with one another. Sometimes they go in there and they come up with ideas together. Because it helps to have another creator. And I think if you're all learning the same thing, then you're all learning like the same principles of content, then it becomes like easier to bounce ideas off each other and like start like being, you know, additive to one another.
Get the creative juices flowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, collaborating too. Yeah, I think that's a very key
How would you
factor.
say, you know, being a part of Creative Now and like, you know, learning from that and having somebody from their back end be a part of what you're doing, how would you say that's pushed your channel and your content, and like, where is that taking you now? Like, where do you plan on going?
So it all started, like it actually went backwards. So I worked with them first. So the YouTuber Eric that I was telling you about, so he went from 0 to 1 million subscribers in a year in I think 59 videos, long form videos, no shorts, no TikToks, like
Very nice.
yeah. Which at the time I think he broke the record because Logan Paul is right after him with 69 videos or 68 videos, something like that. So yeah, Eric kind of like broke the fourth wall in the sense of like getting that many subscribers that quick.
Yeah.
And then he also realized how lonely it is to be a creator. And so he's a silent partner in the Creator Now stuff. And I found him when he had 50K subscribers, and we spoke a little bit over DMs. Like, if you ever come out to Canada, we'll shoot something crazy to one
Nice.
together. And yeah, so when he made this company called Creator Now, I joined it, and I was in it for like probably 3 seasons. And these are like $250 a season, and those are 6 weeks. So I did it like for 3 seasons, and then we have teams and stuff. So I ended up working as a team captain with them, and then I ended up working with them as like an actual employee. So I ran the head of community. So it was like the whole role was like obviously make sure the community is updated with everything, but on top of that, it was like building gamifications. So like we want these guys to post once every week.
Yeah.
How can we do that? It's like what systems can we build, and we can like you know we could do rewards, prizes. Like if you post all 6 weeks in a row, like one video every single week, and they're high quality uploads, then you can get a collaboration with Eric, right? So
Oh,
the
that's
whole-
interesting.
yeah, so my job with Creator Now was like learning how to motivate these guys to post videos, to stay active in the community, because a lot of introverts, like when it goes back to the video rooms, they don't want to join a room where people just have their cameras on and it's just a bunch of strangers talking. So it was like, okay, how can we build a collaborative space for the introverts? And then that's where like the silent library idea came in. It's like you don't need to talk to them. You can just work, and sometimes it just feels nice to have company.
Yeah.
And then that's how I met Hassan, because he was doing operations. And then I took a step back from Creator Now to focus on my own stuff. But I learned a lot with them because I had to attend every single workshop. So part of the job was facilitating the workshop. So like I would get to talk to Hayden, who's Logan Paul's editor, or whatever other like bigger creators we had, like Eric himself, and yeah, sometimes watch the workshops and then like relayed that stuff all back to my own channel. So kind of just went in a circle.
That's an incredible experience, man. I would love to be able to see what a large editor or an editor of that kind of capacity would be able to perform and what's their strategies and stuff like that. So let's be honest, that was fire experience for you.
Yeah, it was. I think YouTube in itself, especially like the bigger you get, it's a lot different than people think it is. And I think like I'll think of like local creators, and I mean this is no disrespect to like a lot of local YouTubers, but it's very like it's just like pranks. You know what I mean? Or it's like it's homemade content, which I love because I think like homemade content is what YouTube is supposed to be about. Because like if you want to watch high production, you go watch Netflix. You don't like you don't go to YouTube for like a full on high production 4K movie.
I feel like nowadays that's changed. Like YouTube's developed so much compared to like let's say early 2000s, where you get all that high production and like all these videos, right?
Yeah, it's a lot different now. But that's the thing. Like when you think like, oh yeah, I do YouTube, it's like people don't think of it that this is a literal business. There's a lot on the back end, and the bigger you get, the crazier it gets too. It's like all these guys have creative directors, they have YouTube strategists, they have like some people have like it gets super niche. There's this one guy, he works for bigger YouTubers. He will go into their back end, and let's say like remember view duration I was telling you, like if someone clicks off in 15 seconds.
That's right, yeah.
Like so you have a graph of your viewership. So when there's like little dips, that means that people skipped it. So you can kind of tell what was like the least interesting parts of your video. There's a guy who literally goes into the back end of those videos and trims it out in the YouTube editor. So like even after it's posted. Yeah.
So he's like a data analyst, video
Pretty much.
editor.
He's a psycho, bro. I don't know.
I guess he's a niche data analyst because like he's analyzing that and then he's cutting that part of the video.
Pretty much. But it's like, yeah, that's the closest thing to like a job title I could think.
There's just so much money in YouTube. Like if you're at that point, you can get very particular people for very, very specialized.
What's the fail rate though?
Very high.
YouTube?
Has to be high.
Probably like 99%.
Because like
okay,
it's like entrepreneurship almost.
I mean, like fail rate can apply even if you're big. Like I know creators who have like 10 million followers on like TikTok or like 5 million on YouTube, and they are getting no brand deals. They're getting like no income coming in, and it's because like they built no community. So it's like all the stuff you got to do early on, they didn't do. They just kind of posted whatever was trending on repeat. Like think of do you remember back in like 2017? I don't know if you'd even know of this, but there was like that 3 a.m. challenge. Like I talked to Siri at 3 a.m. or I talked to.
I only know about it because we had Ahmed Mo TV on the podcast before, and he was telling me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of like the creators that were doing like the 3 a.m. content were like, okay, this is such an easy way to get 100K subscribers, and it's like the views are insane on these videos because it was like a huge trend at the time in 2017. So a lot of people did it. And then they ended up getting stuck into the niche. And then when the trend died, they were getting like 5K views a video. And if they did anything else, like content that they wanted to do, they were getting like 500 views a video.
Mm.
So
what's your advice to them if that ends up happening? Because I feel like I've seen some of these YouTubers, and you're like, what happened?
What's my advice to them?
Like how? Like should you just go through the pains, put up that video that has 500 views, and just start changing it up again?
Should probably just be strategic.
Like what would you do if you were in that position?
Yeah, I think first off, make content that you actually want to make, because if you're in it for the long haul, then just working off trends won't work for you, because once there's no trend, you have no engagement, you have no brand deals, you have nothing. I think my best advice is like do content that you kind of want to do, and then work from there, and just like take it video by video. I don't know.
Challengers are good though. Maybe they should, if they want to throw a challenge in there.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah,
Right?
Should they just stay away from it?
So I think my biggest advice is if you are stuck in the niche that you don't want to be in, like let's say you're stuck making like 3 a.m. videos, continue making the 3 a.m. videos. And what a lot of people will do wrong is like they'll post one 3 a.m. video like in that week, and then they'll post like a challenge video like 2 days later. So they'll think like if I do 1 and 1, it'll even out. But it's better if you just post your 3 a.m. videos and you slowly pivot. So like in your 3 a.m. video, do like a smaller challenge, and then like expand on that as you go.
Interesting, actually.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
What would your advice be starting out 2017 doing these vlog videos? If you knew what you knew now.
Does short form exist?
No.
No, I guess we got to do apples and apples, short forms out of the window.
So it's just long form video.
I guess so.
My main advice would be like, again, do videos that you will do in the long run, because a lot of people will start doing challenge videos and they don't realize how draining challenge videos are. And then they'll be like, damn, I hate this. And like, I'm never going to beat Mr. Beast. And so like, they quit, and you feel like creator burnout. Because no matter what you do, you're not getting the views that you want to get. I feel like I'm blanking on advice that I could give. So I'll come back to this in a second. I'll think about it.
Brainstorm a little bit.
Yeah.
Brainstorm a little.
What's your end goal?
My end goal, I think work-life balance is one of them for sure. I don't know if you guys know Zach King. Do you remember back in Vine days, there was a guy that used to do magic? Do you ever watch?
Sounds familiar, man. I did like the Vines.
He's huge.
He is huge. Yeah, he has
huge.
like, I don't even know how much he has on TikTok actually, but he's pretty big. Zach King actually has like a 9 to 5 work structure, or I think it's like 8 to 4 or something. So a lot of creators now that are bigger are also looking for work-life balance, because you focus so much on like meetings with your managers, meetings with like brand deals, meetings with like your team, your editors, video reviews, stuff like that you kind of lose sight of like what's also important in your life outside of YouTube. So I would say work-life balance is a big one. Zach King actually, like, he will work from 9 to 5, and then he just doesn't, like, he rest of the days off for him and his whole team. I know a lot of editors do this too now. It's like they'll work from like 7 to 7.
Well, that's how it should be for any entrepreneurial, like self-employed business. You have to have a structure for yourself. If you have no structure, then you're not gonna have any balance, and that goes for every.
My question is, how do you shut off? I wish I knew how to shut off.
From YouTube.
I'm just in grind mode all day. I don't know. I'm saying in general, because we're talking about 8 to 4s. I'm always in grind mode all day.
You gotta work for the balance too. Yeah. It's like it's equally work in a sense. But I think like regarding content goals, like big picture, I think I just want to create like a form of escapism for people to watch. Think of like sitcoms, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine or It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's like figure out how to build like homemade sitcoms and like create forms of escapism. And I also like the ideas of like overarching stories, which like musicians do a lot that I don't think like YouTubers do often. So that's also like one thing that we're working towards.
What's an example to that? Sorry.
Yeah, like The Weeknd. Do you listen to him at all?
No.
What about you?
Oh,
here and there. So do you guys remember Starboy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the music video for Starboy?
No.
Yeah,
It's wild.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay, do you remember in that music video, there's like that black cat, and at the end of the video, it's a panther.
Yeah.
And he has like a McLaren going up this like mountain.
Yeah, when he's going through the house and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. That whole song is about like him like transitioning from
cat.
Yeah, that like the cat is supposed to represent him turning into a panther, and Starboy, like even the whole music video is a visual for like him killing the R&B artist and moving into pop.
Yeah, he was killing his older self.
Exactly, and that's one story.
Yeah.
Right, like there's one overarching story, but in that whole Starboy album, there's one huge story, and it's about his whole like transition to becoming like a pop star. But even in like every single album that he releases is one huge overarching story.
Yeah, there's always a general theme.
Yeah.
Even like look at like Drake's Take Care album. Like The Weeknd wrote that whole album.
Yeah.
It had an overall theme to it, and all the songs kind of.
I feel like Eminem is incredible in terms of trying to paint pictures. Him and Joyner Lucas.
But like,
I don't really listen to their stuff much.
The theme aspect, I don't think that really followed before. I feel like nowadays, whole albums follow like Utopia with Travis Scott. Like I think they all kind of try to follow a theme.
Yeah.
All the way through.
So you're trying to encompass that in your YouTube videos now.
Yeah, it's figure out how to build overarching stories in one video and then do like an EP. So like let's take a topic of like let's take a theme that everyone experiences. Like for example, loneliness. Because I think we were talking about that earlier, right? It's like creators. Like I can make one video that's like, 24 hours alone in an underground bunker. Right? Random idea off the top of my head, but like that video will just be about me being alone and like expressing loneliness in the video.
That's right.
But the idea in that video is like, how can I make it about me where you can watch it and you're only thinking of me, but you resonate with the issue. It's not like you are thinking about your own real life issues. You just feel it. It's more of a feeling rather than like sitting there watching my video while you're thinking about how lonely you are. Yeah. And then it's like, what if you do like an EP, like musicians do? It's like, what if you do 6 videos, all have one like theme to it, like loneliness. So I make 6 challenge videos that are somehow about loneliness, but you don't necessarily pick up on that until like you just kind of feel it. And then you do like one giant overarching thing between like, I don't know, 12 videos.
It's a really interesting idea of like how to connect with people. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Is anyone doing that, or is this something like you're kind of piloting it right now?
I'm piloting it. And that goes back that goes back to like production and like idea of how to execute does not match the knowledge, like what we actually need to do. We don't have the production level for it. You know what I mean? Like we can't, it's very tough to properly create that because you have to do so many like test videos and like the Ottawa video, like Ottawa being boring. Like that was one of those tests.
I love that guy when he asked him, he's like, what's there to do in Ottawa? He's like, drink beer.
That's
drink
crazy.
beer everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, this place is so boring.
Bro, there's a decent amount of stuff to do in Ottawa.
You know
You
what,
go
man?
rock
It's
climbing,
like
you
the
go-
Ferris wheel. You
Yeah.
only can jump on it so many times. Then
Yeah, I
after that.
guess.
There's a lot of comments on that video that actually have some pretty good suggestions. Like I feel like the follow-up video should just be me taking all these
Those
comments
suggestions and
like
doing them.
fixing Ottawa. Like it'd
Yeah,
be funny
yeah.
if I just like get a role in like the government where I just like fix
The
Ottawa.
nightlife manager. That's who he's going to be.
Bro,
eh?
you know what? You know what my favorite thing to do in Ottawa is?
He's a Fed.
My favorite thing to do in Ottawa is just to drive to Montreal and just go and do stuff over there.
Bro, like I don't like Montreal. I also don't like Toronto. I think like when I travel, so I travel often to LA, and every time I'm in LA, I'm like
LA's a vibe.
LA's a vibe, but it's just not home. And I don't know how to explain it. But when I come back to Ottawa, it's like, this is
LA's
home.
scary, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that go there hoping to, get to some dream, kind of like New Yorker, like people that move to New York. And then if they don't end up going through or like, establishing themselves, they become crackheads. That place is full of like a lot of drug addicts. A lot.
For me, man, home is wherever your peoples are.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because you know what? The funnest times I've ever had in life was when I was dead broke and I was just chilling with the boys.
Yeah, I talk about this with Nabi all the
Best.
time. I told this to Nabi. He looked at me like I'm crazy, but I think like peak core memory like in childhood is like when you have $2 in your pocket and you go to like the gas
Best.
station and you're like, do I get a slushie or do I get like the Twix bar? And you have like limited options for what you can get. But it's like whatever you get, whatever you choose, whether it's the slushie or the Twix bar, like you are so happy.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That slice of pizza, bro, you got 25 cents. Yo, you got a dime. You got a buck. Oh, the guy that has $1, bro, he gets the biggest pie. That was crazy. Those are the funnest days, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I personally I agree with a lot of the comments where they say like Ottawa. So this is what I my biggest takeaway was. Ottawa does have a lot. It does. It has more than even like I expected that we have. But we are terrible at marketing. Like we had Kevin Hart come out in like May, I think. I didn't even know about it until like my friend told me that he's going to the concert the day of.
You're actually right. Ottawa 100% sucks with marketing. But we're also like, this is such a conservative city. People are stuck in their patterns.
I
So
call it the
people don't-
lobster bucket city. That's what I call
Yeah,
this
you
place.
kind of just have your routine, so people don't realize there's a million things to do.
You know what? I find this
Actually
place,
is.
the culture in this place is a little different. I feel like, you know what? A lot of people are very conservative. Majority of what is it? Like the stat is like 76% of the people that live here work for some form of government.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? So everybody, I feel like, you know what? The worst thing to ever do is work for the government for only one reason. It's because you're always enslaved to the government. You always have to watch everything you say, everything you do, because
Yeah, you're a
everyone's like,
public servant.
oh my God, I'm going to jeopardize my job. And then it's going to go from there, right? When I say the lobster bucket city, it's because nobody wants to see anybody get out of here.
Oh,
But
yeah,
at the
so
same
they're just-
time, they all want to get out of here.
Damn,
So whenever they get to the top of the
Yeah,
bucket, what
someone just-
happens is they're like, nah, you're coming back down here. You're gonna misery loves company. You're staying over here.
That's a fact.
So that's what ends up happening in the city. Like, let's be honest, you must have had some of your friends or family, cousins, anybody hate on this whole YouTube idea. You know what I mean? Everyone's afraid of change here. They don't want something to go outside the norm. If you do, there's no support a lot of the times.
Yeah.
What do you mean
But once you finally make
the
it-
brother's Afghan, bro. If he's not a doctor or an engineer, his parents like, yo, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Facts.
Go work for
You
the
know, like-
CRA or something like that,
No, I'm lucky that I had like supportive parents and family. I think they were always like, as long as you have an ability to make money, and I think I proved that when I was working like as head of community with Career Now. I also worked as a director of brand business intelligence / like brand development
Nice.
for a company called Content Star Productions, and they
Nice.
they have like a bunch of creators that are all like 10 million plus. So my role was like, how can we take this creator and like build a business around them? And then how can we scale those businesses and generate like ARR, MRR, which is like monthly recurring revenue. Like take Prime and Logan Paul, for example, or like Feastables and Mr. Beast. So I think like I was able to prove myself on the back end of stuff. And I was just like, I can still make money and prove that there's job opportunities in here while also doing YouTube. Because I was also doing university at the same time that I was doing YouTube. Because I think like a lot of people are like, I don't want to go to university. I want to be a YouTuber. That's probably also one of my advices is like, if you're thinking of dropping out to pursue a career
Don't ever do
in
that.
YouTube, okay, think of it this way. Are you really going to spend every single day, like your 10 hours, whatever time amount that you're awake for, are you going to spend all that time making videos? Like you're not. Realistically, you won't. Especially like the less you know, the less you'll do. So that's also one of probably my biggest advices for people who want to be a creator in some sense is like, don't drop out of school solely for that reason.
So what about the people that are just starting YouTube anyways?
Keep posting. The only thing you can do is like, this is a personal goal of mine with my team is that, again, it goes back to that whole analysis paralysis. It's like, if we can't make a bad video good, then we will never be able to make a good video great. You know? So even if I have a perfect idea, I don't have the capability to make that perfect idea into a good video because I don't have enough practice of making content. Like you can look back at like 6 years ago at my very first videos and compare it to like the most recent video. And like, you can see the improvement. And I mean, obviously improvements is a given. Like, I think it's weird if you don't improve in 6 years.
After 6 years.
That'll be weird.
I think like feedback that I get, and obviously my personal bias is like, it's a huge improvement. And a lot of it is just like just do something a tiny bit better. Like marginal improvements take you a very long way. But yeah, I think like that's my other piece of advice. Going back to that question from earlier is like, just post. Like even if the video is bad, even if like the idea is trash, post. Because even right now, I'm not at a stage where I post these videos and I'm like, yeah, this is a great video. Every video, I think like this is okay, but we can keep doing better. This is just practice. You know, it's just like it's rinse and repeat essentially.
So you get your reps.
Post, but don't quit your day job, and then let it build.
Yeah, you can do both at once. Think like if you can work 2 part-time jobs or a full-time job and a part-time job. Like when you're a small creator, especially just starting out, and like all you're doing is content, like just making your own videos.
Yeah,
I guarantee you're not putting more than like, and I'm being generous, 10 hours a week, because like you probably lack the discipline, you probably lack the work ethic, you lack the knowledge, Like in 2020, I would sit down, I would just Google like how to get 1,000 views. Like I'm wasting so much of my time. Like imagine I dropped out of university to be like how to get 1,000 views on Google.
Jeez.
You know what I mean?
nuts, eh?
Yeah. So I think for those creators who think that their parents would be disappointed in them is like, you can do both. Like there's a happy median there.
Yeah. That's 100%, bro. Like that's.
So you know what? I'm curious because I find a lot of YouTubers, they have a very big personality on their YouTube videos. But what's behind that, nobody knows.
Oh, there's probably a lot of characters for sure. Like people play characters.
So what are you all about? Let's say you're not on YouTube right now. You're just hanging out. You're chilling. What do you like to do? Who is Milad really instead of like Milad Q
Just
from the YouTube?
business.
Just
Like,
business. I think it's like business is probably one of my love languages.
Man, this guy's just.
this guy's gonna do. You just come hang out with us, bro. He's
Where does he
Bro.
come about work-life balance, man? He's just like me, bro. I'm like, how do you shut it
like, yeah,
off?
work like the. What do you like to do for fun? Business.
Business.
Like if I spend like quality time, you can separate the two. Like I can spend quality time with friends and like make great memories, but also like we just shoot the shit and talk about like random business ideas. You know what I mean? And it's like, and like you can take some of those things and be like, this is low-key a pretty good idea.
Okay, so it doesn't shut off, bro.
I mean, it doesn't. You try to control it.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, man.
All I'm hearing is that it revs down.
Yeah.
You know, you during the day the revs high, and then
Yeah.
during the night it's still at
Take
1
the
or
foot
2.
By
off
the time you
Yes.
hit
It's idling,
11:30,
you know?
that's over at that
I
point.
love that, bro.
So, is a lot of your friends entrepreneurs? Is that what it is?
I think a lot of them are trying. Like a lot of them are working on like figuring out. You know, they're testing the waters.
You know what? I'll comment on that. I think Ottawa's a city of dreamers. You know what I mean, and this goes into all aspects, every sort of industry. Ottawa's full of dreamers. So I think everybody or a lot of people in the city would be surprised are like entrepreneur minded, and have like a good entrepreneur mind. So you can like bounce ideas off each other or like really talk about things in depth. But not a lot of people execute or act on that entrepreneurial side of things. You know what I mean?
100%.
So you'll get those conversations, but there's a big fear and a big gap in like people who actually go for it. So,
Because it's the lobster bucket city, man. Everyone's gonna shun you.
oh, 100%.
Everyone's gonna say,
shut it
"What are
down.
you doing?" Let's be honest. How many people that you know or have known you?
Yeah.
If you try to get on a video, let's be honest. Doing videos is very tough to be in front of a camera for a lot of people.
And it's funny
know,
that
put
you
yourself
were
out
talking like that's what you like to do and stuff. We're not too different, bro.
Yeah.
We were bouncing ideas off each other yesterday. I was showing him a proposal and he was like helping me edit it and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're very involved in those kind of talks too, bro.
We're all one.
So, what's your
Yeah.
favorite conversations? You're hanging out with your boys. You're not a YouTuber right now. Is it just business?
It's anything. I'm very like low maintenance. It's like, and I think like
Chicken tenders and
Just go.
chicken tenders, Palmer white
How about some
Jollibees,
sushi, bro? You like
crab.
sushi?
I only eat the California roll.
That's it.
That's it.
Nothing else.
And I lie to myself about the crab. I tell
No,
myself
like,
I
Oh,
love
sashimi?
this guy, man. Straight up,
I
bro.
tell myself,
He's-
I have very strong like mental power over myself. Like
Okay.
I can trick myself very easily. So like I can just soup like if I eat California rolls, that's fake crab, bro.
It is fake crab.
I'm not even
Oh,
eating
facts,
crab.
facts.
Not you're not. Like,
But I know, but even if I'm at like a fancy restaurant that is serving like actual crab, even if I eat like a piece of raw salmon on top
so
of
what,
it.
you don't like
fake.
seafood?
Ah, bro.
No.
Yes, my guy.
You don't like seafood
Last,
either?
I fucking hate I hate the texture. I hate
guy's
the
a-
smell.
a fake
I hate
Mediterranean.
the
It's too
taste.
soft.
Yeah, I
What?
hate
It's like mushy. It's weird.
uh,
Like if you,
Don't look at me like I'm crazy.
wild, man.
bro, I have a friend.
Yeah.
The man is a fiend for seafood.
Okay.
Like all he wants is shrimp. Okay, one of my biggest pet peeves are when people order shrimp and pasta.
Okay.
Because that I don't understand. Like it's like the fishiest thing with just pasta.
Shrimp is not fishy though.
It just has this
Shrimp is
disgusting
chewy.
smell.
See, I'm
Does
with
it?
him, bro. Listen, I agree all day, bro. Me and him can attack you all day, bro. This,
Okay,
is,
first
this
off,
is a gang up
he
here.
just said shrimp. You like shrimp.
Okay, so but I hate all
Okay,
seafood.
So, anyways, I don't know. I'm,
Bro,
I'm
salmon,
I'm personally
yo.
I'm Mediterranean.
Oh
You know,
really?
I'm North
No, he's
African.
not.
So like
See, there you go. You're
yeah,
not Mediterranean.
North Africa is. What are you talking about?
Since when are Egyptians not Mediterraneans?
What do you mean? What,
guys are
what
just
sea
Africans,
is
bro.
right on us, bro? The Mediterranean Sea. What are Mediterranean?
No, khalas. You said you're Africans.
All
I
right,
was thinking, Muhammad, I listen to Muhammad Ramadan. I don't
So
listen to you.
both countries that I'm from are heavy on seafood. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And meat in general, but like seafood, of
That's
course,
true.
you're on the coast. Lebanon is no different.
No, I know. I
where
just don't like it. My
there's
family
a
does.
large, but I guess Afghanistan, not a lot of fish or
A lot of bombs.
a lot of bombs.
You know what? Super impressed with Afghanistan.
Yeah.
A lot of bombs.
Not anymore, man.
Bro,
You see the
don't,
place?
don't
The
talk.
place looks incredible. Record building construction.
Bro,
Yeah, this is super controversial.
this is
not-
super controversial.
This is not my
bro.
words. This
Yeah.
is not my words. But
Yeah.
we have family that lives in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And they say that ever since like Taliban took over, it's much more peaceful. It's much more peaceful.
Bro, I'm looking at the videos and
Yeah.
the way they're rebuilding the country.
well,
Unbelievable.
probably
what they're
because
able
like
to
they've
do.
stopped bombing every single thing that they can find because now
Yeah.
they control it, right? So
Yeah.
that I mean, it makes sense.
Well, didn't they come into like Peshawar or like Kabul and they just said we're taking it over, and then the president just cut like
Yeah.
immediately
Yeah,
same
yeah.
day.
They just ambushed the capital.
Like they literally just came into it was Kabul, right?
Yeah.
He came into Kabul. He said, "This is our country now," and then the president just cut.
I don't
That
know,
was it.
man. You know what? I don't like looking at the news too much because then if you look at what just happened in Hawaii,
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. These storms are becoming very unnatural. I don't know. So a lot of people are coming out saying direct weapon energies. People are saying, oh, they're actually natural disasters. I don't know. They're starting to look a lot of unnatural, very unnatural to me. So it's just like, what can you really believe nowadays? They can everybody. If the media is controlled, they show you what you want to see in Afghanistan. Like I bet you what we see here is way different what they see.
Yeah,
over
but
there.
like on that note, like what you were saying, like I have friends who are Afghan as well, and like or they're like from like the mountain tribes. And he was telling me because I was hearing a lot of crazy stuff from here, like, oh my god, the Taliban just took over. It's insane.
Yeah.
They're killing people.
Yeah, you saw
And
videos
then-
of people trying to climb the airplanes while the
Oh yeah, I
airplanes.
saw
Yeah.
that. That's crazy.
But see,
Huh.
like, I'm like talking to my boy, and he's FaceTiming his cousin, and there's Taliban soldiers like walking or like on their cars, and everyone's saying like, "What's up?" And it's very like quiet. And they're saying it's
there's
fine.
good Taliban. Like there isn't. If someone just clips that, that sounds so. So there's two things. Like Taliban is also like a political party.
Yeah.
So like there's people who are like business consultants in the Taliban and they're Taliban.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then there's like the army part of the Taliban. So like not all of Taliban is necessarily bad Taliban. Some of them are
There's
just
an actual
people-
structure.
Exactly. And it's been like that for like
Didn't they just come back from the States? Didn't they just have a meeting in Washington and then they just came back to the country?
Taliban.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really keep up with that stuff.
So I guess Russia, China also had a meeting with Afghanistan, and then they had a meeting with the United States. They literally just flew back from Washington. And it was like a big deal there because they said, "What the hell? You guys just had the Taliban here."
I don't know. I was watching Milad Qurishi.
I think they're,
bro, you know what I mean? I was trying to see what
I think
the
they're
form of
trying to
contacts
like
were.
strike a deal in regards to like Ukrainian or something like that. Like they want something.
I'm just impressed with what the country looks
It was
like now,
lithium.
man.
They want lithium for the batteries and stuff.
Yeah. Afghanistan's there's a lot of resources.
Huge
in there.
resources. So
I mean,
now
it's
they're
the same
striking
thing,
deals with
like-
these countries.
Like a lot of the countries where we have like American military and Canadian military
Yeah.
invading is like it's just resources.
100.
Well, look at
1
Lebanon.
billion
They say
%.
they have one of the largest gas reserves in the world. Every time they go frack it, they're getting into constant problems.
While we have the third largest oil reserves in the world
And
in
it gets
Canada,
refined
we don't
in
want
the
to touch
States.
it. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
refined in the
bro.
States. Canada has the weirdest deal in the world. You want to hear this?
What is
This
this?
is the weirdest thing. And like,
There's a YouTube video. I clipped that, eh?
It's gonna be content for me.
so we don't have a lot of oil refineries in Canada. I think we have two. One in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and one in Alberta. The majority of our oil gets sent to like Houston. They refine it, and then they sell it back to us at a higher price. And
That's
it's, like,
because isn't it because the NAFTA agreement bullies us into not having
it's
refineries?
a grandfather deal. No, just like grandfather deal we have the States that for some reason we're respecting. When we can just build refineries here, use our oil. No. Goes right to the States, gets refined, comes back. Because what hurricane hit? Hurricane
Capitalism.
Katrina. What hurricane hit
that was
Houston?
New Orleans.
Like like years ago.
Wasn't it like Hurricane
Catherine or something like that. When it like
be very wrong.
it
I was
me-
watching Milad QTV, bro. at
It
that
messed
time.
up
I don't know what I'm saying.
an oil
Yeah,
refinery. You in the right place, bro.
That's what's up.
But I remember the prices went up for no reason like a decade ago, and then I found out it's because we used that refinery, and that's why our oil went up. But
Yeah, it's very. I feel like there's politics is so like the,
bro,
I think you're just better off ignoring what's happening.
bro, we're
Sometimes.
30 million people or 40 million people. We could be living like the people in Qatar, bro. Like if we use
Yeah.
our resources here.
Yeah, we
Like,
could.
Well,
have
if
a
anybody
small
actually thought
population.
for once in their life the government was going to help them, it doesn't work that way.
In the Middle East, you do that. Like
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
these- they just
It
dish
doesn't
out.
work.
you know,
It
but
definitely doesn't work that way. Especially with the, I always found income taxes very interesting.
What did-
on
what
how
did-
it was implemented during World Wars.
Yeah,
and then it just stayed
loan,
after that.
As a loan.
Just to keep funding the
Oh my
economy, and then
God.
you're telling
And then
me,
it
yo,
never
you
went
take
away.
50% of my proceeds. Go tell a YouTuber that, man.
Yeah.
Go work all your life, get 50 million subs. You finally ate your first million. The guy goes, look, CRA bill, $500,000.
then you got shit
Yeah.
out there saying, I'm going to do a grocery rebate.
Yeah, how is that going to
200
affect the
bucks.
YouTubers now, especially with this new CRTC deal?
Which part?
Like, did you guys ever look into that with how they're going to start censoring Canadian content? How that's going to affect you in
It's
the
already
long
started,
run?
right?
yeah,
So-
I don't
Oh,
know
it
if
did.
that affects that. That will only affect like news.
Oh, actually,
channels.
I think I think it's on YouTube as well, but I think it's beneficial for Canadian based artists because they want to push Canadian content. So that means Canadian creators.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, I think it could go either way for me. I think like if they do that, then it just plays into the strategy of like dominate the Canadian market.
Yeah.
But if they don't, then nothing changes, and I have international market that I could go after. I don't think it affects me personally. I think it depends on the creator and their strategy. But interesting enough, did you know that radio stations? I think it's 10% of the songs that they play within like a 24-hour span have to be Canadian artists.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know. that.
yeah.
That's tough.
What is it?
60?
Speak up, man.
60%.
It's okay. That's Shiny Boy.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, I just thought
Producer,
10%.
supposed to be in the back.
Then it better-
Whatever, producing.
if it's 60%, it better be a lot of Drake or Tory Lanez, bro. Like that's
I love Tory
crazy.
Lanez, man. I was listening to Tory Lanez since Mr. Peterson.
Yeah.
I still remember when we brought him down from Toronto when he was a nobody. And then we had him do a show at Addiction. Then he passed out at one of the boys' house.
2017.
No.
When is this?
This is like 2008, 9, man.
Oh yeah, this is a long time.
This is
ago.
when I was a big fan already. I used to like his stuff because that's when it was a lot of the stuff was R&B. Mr.
Yeah.
Peterson is his first album. I love Tory Lanez. I thought he was one of the most versatile artists there was. And the fact that it came out of here was
Yeah.
crazy. Like Diego,
Actually-
Godfather, that really blew him up. But I'm like, I was a super huge fan of Tory Lanez.
They're
do you
doing
think
him,
of his
doing him
last
dirty
album?
right now.
Which one?
Alone at Prom.
Yeah, hectic.
What
No.
was it called?
I liked it.
I wasn't a fan, to be
I like
honest.
the
with that.
overall theme.
I loved his
Yeah,
new Toronto's
he had,
mixtapes.
he had an overall
No.
theme on that one. He does
He
a little
did.
thing.
He
Yeah.
did. Is it called Alone at Prom? I'm terrible with remembering.
I think
song
it is.
names.
I know exactly what you're talking
I
about.
think that's the name of a song.
He has that
I'm not
song.
even-
I had my heart, you know,
Beating
beating.
car
Yeah.
going. Yes.
That's a
I don't know,
banger,
man.
man.
I don't like hybrids of some sorts. You
That's
know what I mean?
that
Like,
song's a banger.
But
Like,
that-
he has some
100%.
big tunes on
That album, like that whole style of music suits him really well.
it's incredibly well done.
Now confused. Did you
No,
like
no,
it
like
or-
it's
No.
incredibly
He's
well
saying,
done.
you know,
I give
you know
him
what he's saying?
credit.
He's being politician. He's
No,
saying,
no,
I don't
I
hate
absolutely-
it, but I rock with it.
I absolutely
Yeah.
give him credit for being able
Using me.
to perform something of that caliber and being able to go back into the 70s and 80s. That's incredible that he was able to do that.
Anything
I'm a fan of the
high
guy.
tuned like that. Even
But
that
I'm
song he
very-
did. He did the T-Pain remix.
That was incredible. Jerry
I'm
Sprung?
surprised- yeah, Jerry Sprung.
Sprunger?
And he just followed that same sort of thing. And even T-Pain was going crazy over that. He just loved it.
It suits him.
It does.
That's the thing. Like I think it suits him. Like he's a good rapper. Rap also suits
Incredible.
him. But I think like if he does more pop stuff, pop is like the Trojan horse. It's like
His vocals are, it's meant for pop. His
Yeah.
vocals are meant for pop.
Corey
He's
could have
nice.
like if he kept releasing music like that, he could have easily been like A-lister.
Bro, he was.
I think he would have
Listen,
kept going if
I'm
it
gonna
wasn't
say
for
some
this whole
conspiracy.
He's a
I'm
solo label.
gonna say some conspiracy theory shit right now. Okay,
Say it.
he actually was, and he was on a crazy top. He was going crazy during COVID. Remember the thing he was doing on FaceTime? Or on
I
Instagram?
live streams?
love.
Yeah, the live streams.
Yeah.
What was it? COVID? What would you call it?
Uh-huh.
I
Oh,
forgot
yeah,
what
he
you call
had,
it.
he had a name for it. Like every time he
Quarantine
streamed.
radio
Yeah,
or something like that. I
quarantine
love that
radio.
shit.
He would be going crazy.
I watch it every day.
He was blowing up, and then he did the whole NFT thing where he sold like a whole album, made $1 million in a minute, and he's an individual artist. He's not signed to anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's been doing all this stuff on his own. He was destroying the industry,
Yeah.
and he was pushing people to be independent, like how he is, because he was killing it independent. All of a sudden, there's this whole shooting with a foot nonsense. There's like no proof towards it, but you want to put him away for 10 years, bro. He was on a heavy climb up with the albums. He was releasing he released like 3 albums like the last year, bro.
Yeah,
Not
I
even
agree
alone
with
at
you,
Prom. He
Pretty
released another one before that and another one before that.
Yeah.
So he was on a big climb, independent of any of these record labels. And these record labels are really just slave owners because it's no different than Nar City saying, hey, come on board. Your content is ours.
Oh, you just already killed his
Okay,
brand,
sorry.
man.
Well, okay.
He just smirked that if you
I
ever
won't make that-
wanted
I
it,
won't
you
make that
just killed
comparable,
it
but I
at
mean,
this
like-
point.
Narcity, these are not my words.
Yeah, these are mine. A record label really just will give you 100K up front and say we own your music, and then you're a slave, and they're just a slave master, and they're just making millions of dollars off you, and you can't say anything to them because you signed that.
Well, look
piece
at
of paper.
Burna Boy that just came out with a thing that he was able to produce 300 million, but he only kept 15.
Of course, because
Dave Chappelle show.
he's with a record label.
Yeah.
But when they're independent, they're so far from that, and they're just making all that money to themselves. Tory Lanez was doing that, and it was a big cut on record labels, and he was pushing people out of that. I really feel like this guy got set up because of how well he was doing.
Probably.
And then now they're trying to put him away for 10 years.
Yeah,
For
10 years
what?
is a little wild to me.
10 years is insane.
But I also don't like Megan Thee Stallion, so.
Yeah.
You know what, man? If you look at the facts of the case, man, I don't censor nothing for nobody. I just gonna speak my mind. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? There's a hater. People are gonna love you or hate you anyways.
Exactly.
But if you really look at the facts of the case and the fact that even the DNA on the gun was inconclusive, how did you guys without a shroud of what was that?
A shroud of doubt. Like
You have to be, the only way you can be convicted is if there's absolutely no
Beyond
doubt.
reasonable doubt.
Beyond reasonable doubt. But there's inconclusive on the gun, the DNA, all this other stuff. Like the story was crazy. So there are so many loopholes in the story to show that the people that are testifying against them are not even credible in the first place. They punched holes like crazy. How did you guys convict them without a
there's so many holes
without
in
a
this
shadow of a
case.
doubt?
It's actually crazy.
Made no sense to me.
Yeah,
know.
without a shadow of doubt is exactly it. And like, there's so many holes, and it's not like they have like conclusive evidence on this guy shooting this girl in the foot. Like, there's no video of him doing it. There's no proof of him doing it. Nothing.
Because there's
A lot
two
of
kind of
hearsay.
courts, bro. There's a court of public opinion,
Yeah.
and there's the court of law. But realistically,
I'll say
they're gonna
this
keep
though. He
going
did
on
fuck
it.
up. He fucked up with going so live about it and like talking a lot of shit about it and kind of making it a joke. Because then the prosecution will come at you. Like, they don't like that stuff. So when you see people like, and he's very popular, like just kind of like bashing it and stuff like that. And he wasn't doing that towards the end, but he was doing that at the beginning. The prosecution wants to come at you.
I mean, so was she. Was she not?
I don't know what she was
Yeah,
doing. I
that's
think she was
100%.
just, I think she was just saying She was just saying that
clout
you did
chasing.
it.
Oh, I mean, Loki, her label was probably like they silenced her. Like, don't say anything. Like they know how to deal with that.
They either
stuff.
said that or they told her to fucking say
Well,
exactly
it was
what she was
Rock
saying,
Nation,
bro.
anyways. No, wasn't it?
I think it
Jay
was.
Yeah,
Z
she's
was,
with Rock Nation.
and then he's the one that he had a beef with Jay Z.
Yeah, he did.
When his dad came out and he started freaking out, and like, I'm gonna call out Jay Z from
Yeah.
Rock Nation and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny enough, it reminds me of. So I have a video with Young Gravy that's not out, but in one of the like clips, I still need to like. I have a clip with a lawyer, and he's impossible to like book time with because he's super busy. But I should do a follow-up video that's like solving the Tory Lanez case. It's just like
Why
have this
not,
lawyer
man?
like review the whole
100%.
thing.
Why not? I'll even want to jump on that video. I love Tory Lanez.
Because it's
man.
actually, it's I don't know, man. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, 10 years is wild.
10
like-
years.
it's like-
Absolutely, man.
It's like Andrew Tate, bro. They had zero evidence, and then they held him in jail for like months on end, and then he starts talking about it, and like there's literally nothing.
You know what's
You know,
wild?
it's nuts.
You know what's wild to me is how they compared like the like the Paul brothers to the Tate brothers.
You can't.
But if
bro.
you actually, funny enough, when you look at the Paul brothers, everybody used to look at Jake like he was the asshole, he was the dick.
What's
And then
Logan?
you see exactly, then you see it's, you know what, you look at Logan's true colors, and then it's you're like, yo, I feel like Jake Paul is the guy that's really just trying to hold it down for his people.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, the older brother is like, yo, what do you mean? Why is my little brother getting the fame? I want this. So let me throw him under
There's
the
that
bus.
video of Jake like just winning that fight, and he's like all hype, and then the video cuts to Logan, and he's like just dead staring him. Then he sees the camera, and then he's like, and he like changes his face, starts clapping. I'm like, damn.
I've not seen this. I know that this is the most recent fight.
Yeah, and they just had a thing on Impulsive right now.
He's like on the side, and he's like just like staring at him like whatever. And then he sees the camera, and he's like, oh yeah.
And he
he's
tells
like,
his
"Hey,
brother, he's like, yo, I feel like you like to play both sides of the fence.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's
I told him
because,
on
it's
that
because
podcast,
it's
yeah.
because Logan was saying like you didn't let Prime like they literally did not let Logan have a Prime bottle, and it's because Jake is sponsored by Celsius, and so there's like a non-compete clause in the contract.
Yeah.
So they didn't let Logan go in with his Prime bottle, and then Logan's like, I'm your brother. And then that's when Jake was like, I mean, you play both sides. Like, I'm your brother, but I made a business with the guy that hates your guts.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's
Do you have
actually
any
fucked.
brothers?
No, only child.
No
Shit.
way.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. We should
Afghan
ask that,
family,
right?
only child.
Right?
Guys,
Yeah.
he's not Afghani anymore.
Unique, bro.
His chicken tenders all day.
I'm a
He's Caucasian.
A lot of cousins.
A lot of cousins.
For sure he has
Yeah,
a lot
we
of cousins.
definitely we go deep. I mean, we're everywhere. We're in Ottawa, Australia, United States.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
come on,
I'm sure there's one in China.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be
bro.
surprised.
Well, you guys got that
Wouldn't be
region of Afghanistan that's like Asian Afghans.
The Daris? The
Is
Dari?
that the Daris, yeah.
Hazara?
The Hazar, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's because the Mongolian Empire ruled for like 500 years or
Hmm.
whatever amount of time. So then we ended up getting like Afghan Suluk.
There's a lot of like sub races in Afghanistan, eh? Like just
Yeah,
a lot
like-
of different kind of people.
There's probably like 40% of the population, like of Afghans,
Hmm. Yeah.
are Turk Afghan. And then my side of it, so my mom is from Kabul and then my dad is from Mazar.
Yeah.
So we are, like, my dad's side is Afghan European. So like all of them have green eyes, like colored hair.
That's exactly like one of my boys. He told me like they have like German descents. They're like in the mountains or something like that. And they're just
Yeah,
like a lot.
maybe.
They're very pale skinned, but very tall and like.
How do we go from like Logan Paul brothers to green eyes, Afghan
You know
descent?
what we were talking about having siblings. You
I was
asked
so
them.
hyped on the Logan podcast. I was just trying to get back to the point.
You know what? We all have ADHD here, so we're just jumping on
That's
different points.
Well, here,
crazy.
I'll give you a new like topic that'll bounce in your brain is I actually can't go to Afghanistan.
Why?
If I go to Afghanistan, I'll probably get killed.
Oof.
Because of
Holy
YouTube
fuck.
or?
No, I hope not at least.
Is
It's
you a fan of the
because-
Paul brothers?
No, I mean, not that I know of.
Can't bring a prime bottle?
But I don't know. They don't
Bro,
have
don't
any
worry.
bottles in
We're
Afghanistan,
gonna cut
bro.
a clip of you saying Taliban's great or Taliban has good people, and you'll be good. You'll be good to go, bro.
He's gonna save me. But no, so
you
it's,
can't
it's,
go there.
my mom's side of the family,
Yep.
my grandpa from like her side was a like really big businessman. So they were essentially like they were the first family in Afghanistan to ever have a car.
Okay, yeah.
For example, so like they were like huge business people there, and they own 100 acres of land.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all like fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And then they also had like the largest import export business in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So when my grandpa passed away, there was a whole thing between the government and the Taliban. So my like mom's family had to like flee.
Yeah.
They would have just killed them and just taken the land. So if we go back, like my uncles went back a few times, they keep kidnapping him, and they're like, because they think he's there to just sell the land, which he was
Yeah.
once or twice. So if they hear like anyone with my mom's last name there, then they're on your ass.
Yeah, they want some money.
But then my dad's side of the family, my grandpa from my dad was a politician who got assassinated.
Okay.
Wow, this is some like mob ties shit.
Damn. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I have my dad's last name, so I share the politician's last name.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The family lore is that apparently when my uncle then went into the war, 'cause, like they all went into war, like my dad, my uncle, like from both sides. But apparently like my uncle ended up killing whoever killed his dad. But I don't know how true that is.
Big ups to him. I would have too.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but that's the family lore.
Yeah,
That's
bro,
crazy,
a lot.
man.
That's
Good for him.
That's a lot
somebody,
to unpack, bro.
somebody took my dad out. I'd take him out for sure.
Wow.
He
100%.
took a
Good for
bull
him.
in the leg, so now he like limps. But he lives in St. Louis, Missouri. It's like
My
murder capital.
God.
See, now,
Yes,
see,
sir.
the chicken's good over there.
See,
Yeah,
that's
we
what
were
I'm
talking
saying.
about
You're
chicken
talking
is
about
good
Ottawa.
over there.
Yeah, 100%. Missouri, the South?
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had chicken in Missouri. I think I just have my grandma's food.
Mm.
I think she would get mad if I go out and eat there.
So you do eat Afghan food, bro. What's going on?
I would
course, yeah,
love
yeah,
to
I do.
see.
It's not making
I'm
Afghan
just
chicken
super
tenders.
picky with like what I'll eat.
I would definitely love to see you do that video, especially with try to solving
Oh, the lawyer? Yeah.
solving that lawyer issue
Yeah.
with the Tory Lanez thing. If you have that, bro, I want like a sneak peek clip. You know what I mean? I want to see that.
What do you think would make it entertaining?
It's not even that it's like entertaining, it's just it's informative, bro. And people are very, very much keeping track and watching this case. So
Yeah, I mean, and this is like a double answer. Like again, back to advice for creators. If you want virality, you need conversation starters. So like solving the Tory Lanez case, or like whatever the title of that video would be, is a conversation starter, because there's a lot of people who believe that whole thing was like some weird facade that we don't understand. Like, why is he getting 10 years? So it's a conversation starter, and like just like we could have like an hour-long conversation about that whole situation. It's like a key to virality.
I know a lot of people that have been convicted in the system, and the thing is this: 99.9% of the times, the Crown prosecutors are not looking to actually find out. The law isn't designed to find out who's innocent and who's guilty. It's all it is people trying to chase a case to be able to further their career. They couldn't give a fuck about if you're actually innocent or not. All they're trying to do is get a win. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that's interesting to me is, realistically, was he innocent?
I really feel like
Was he guilty, or was they really just trying to make a name? Obviously, whoever the lawyer was on the other side, it's going to be great publicity, great for his business. There's a lot of things, a lot of people who can benefit, and then some people that can lose. But in reality, that's what I was interested in.
I truly believe Tory Lanez was just growing in influence
Yeah, me too.
and was doing very well
Me too.
and doing it independently.
Yeah.
And that's a very big fear for like these record labels.
Like,
Yeah.
look at Tory.
Somebody
Sorry.
this successful doing it by himself, when record labels, feed off the fact that they're telling people that they can push their careers.
What I find interesting about something like Andrew Tate, right, is these two girls that initially started this whole thing. Yeah, sure, they say Greta Thunberg is the reason why he got arrested, but whatever. Let's say those two girls, the ones that went to his party or something like that, and then they made a claim that he was trying to lover boy them into like human trafficking, right? And then they were caught making up like this was a complete fabricated lie
bro?
for
The police took their phones and saw that they were
no,
texting each
but that's
other.
what I'm saying, right? Is
Crazy.
they caught that, but this happens extremely often.
Oh man.
What I think that would be fair on the other flip side, okay, there's some women definitely that have been affected. My heart goes out to them. You know what I mean? That have not in the Andrew Tate case, but in general.
Yeah.
If this actually happened to a girl and she's been abused, you know what I mean? I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have helped you in that situation. But a lot of them are making a career out of it too. I'm not going to say all of them. It's a disgusting thing, because almost like you're taking away from the actual victims that have had things happen to them. My opinion is, if you get caught lying in this case, you see these messages, this was completely fabricated. Whatever amount of time that he was facing based on a fabricated lie, I feel like they should initially get charged for that as well and have to defend themselves. I just find that would be the fair flip side, because it's almost like there's no downside for them to pull that off. And I'm not a feminist or anything like that, or toxic masculinity. For me, it's common sense. If somebody is making a claim, right? If you were to call a fake police call, can't you be in trouble if you try to say, you're making like a prank call to the police?
Yeah, if you're doing that.
So if you're about to
malicious
ruin
intent-
another guy's life for 15, 20 years and it's complete bogus, right? Like as an example to this extent, I feel like they should be in trouble
there's
for
a name
that
for the
too.
charge. It's called public mischief.
But I'm
Well,
saying
that's what
they
it is in
should,
Canada.
if I'm facing 20 years over a bullshit charge that's trumped up because you're trying to get some clout, I feel like
Absolutely.
as soon as I beat that and it's been proven, just the same way those texts were there, they automatically should get that 20 years. That's the only way I feel like that's going to deter people from trying to play that bullshit game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, just to play devil's advocate, it's like, what happens in a case where someone makes like a complaint, or like they, like they're building a case and they actually like this happened, but then the person, like the what's his name?
Victim?
No, the other one. Like, let's say the criminal is actually innocent. Or hold on, wow, I just totally confused myself.
Let's say the suspect's
backtrack.
actually...
Yeah, the suspect is what I'm looking for. So let's say like the suspect wins the case, but they were actually like guilty, right? So then I think it's like the argument of like, should the death penalty be a thing, right? It's like, what if you accidentally execute...
If it's for rapists, I'm okay with that.
But it's like, what if you
abuse.
accidentally execute someone who's actually innocent and like they
And
just
it's-
lost their case?
And
So
it's
like,
happened, yeah.
it
Oh,
has
for sure.
happened. There's cases of it. So like, what if you imprison a victim for 20 years because they got charged with like public mischief, but it wasn't actually the case? It was like they were being serious. They lost the case. Now they're in jail. I think that's where it gets a bit tricky.
Which has happened many of times. I'm just saying, it was so concrete.
More so...
What I'm trying to say is to set a precedent that, you know what, let's say in this case, they were completely caught lying. It's been proven, the whole shebang, as a precedent case to deter people from actually doing that. Because like you just said,
Yeah.
there are people that is very harmed. It's very tough. It's everything, like even this system is all man-made. Anything man-made is going to be flawed.
fails.
You know what I mean?
The
It's going to
system,
be tough.
the system fails, and it fails
100%.
fails very often. And I get what you're saying. I agree with both of you. I think there should be the freedom to make whatever argument you want to argue. You know what I mean? But on Yussef's point, like if you can prove there is like malicious intent with the argument, and
Yes.
like the whole purpose was malicious, then there should be some sort of something that's there, right? So
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Like, I think, if you're making false accusations, and like, I have people that I know that have been through like random cases of just like, it's not even true. And I know these people, or it's like, it's manipulated to make it seem like the victim is like way more of a victim than what the reality is. I think it's just tough. I think there's a lot of layers to the whole legal system.
oh, bro, the system is interesting. Anyway, people get set up. You know what I mean? It's how it goes.
You know what? Listen, we got to do a round two. We've ran out of time like a good 10 minutes ago, but as soon as I knew the tablet was dead, it was done.
It's over.
But however, let's. I wanted to give out. We want to put your stuff in the description. Last time, I'm going to ask: do you think anybody should start joining creators now to help them further careers? Like, what's your opinion, real quick? Just so we want to give contrast and context for actually how to help people on getting into the spaces that, however, they're trying to get
Give us
into.
your
Right? So,
few bullet points.
and you
What's
get
like
real,
the-
give it real and raw. You know, like what do you think?
I got you.
Best way to do it for them.
Yeah, if you're
Coming
looking,
back to it.
if you're looking to be a creator, whether it's like, I mean, I would specifically say long form creator, but even if you're doing like shorts and TikToks and whatnot, I 100% think creator now is the move. I think community, you need it. I think if you don't have people to pass your ideas onto, you're kind of just relying on public opinion.
Yep.
And public opinion, like YouTube videos, is the same as business. It's like
Yeah.
when it comes to like customer service, the customer doesn't know what they want a lot of the times. That's why like businesses put things in front of them. And it's like, hey, here are your options. Like, what do you want? But you don't show them the whole catalog and like let them decide, because a lot of people don't know what they want. So going back to my point is like having a community where you can bounce it off other creators and who are like-minded helps a lot. Having friends in the same niche helps a lot. You get workshops directly from larger creators that have like done everything that you're already doing and they've succeeded. Like all of that helps, you know. I think like ultimately you can't succeed as a creator alone. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because it's a very lonely road. It's a very like high levels of burnout, and your videos might actually suck. And like you're gonna need
Somebody
people who aren't your friends, who don't understand the platform, to tell you that they suck.
Yeah.
Because like if your friends watch it, they're like, oh yeah, this is a great video. They don't have a standard, right? It's just like, oh yeah, you did good. Like this is more than I expected from you.
Yeah.
So Creator Now is a community where you can like take all your questions and you'll get answers that satisfy you. On top of that, you will make friends. You will collaborate. Like a big reason why I go to Los Angeles a lot aside from work is like now I have a ton of friends there and I can collaborate with them. So yeah, I 100% think you should do Creator Now if you're looking.
I'll
to
even
become a creator.
join Creator Now. Me and my boy Milad right now.
We have podcasters. We have was
I'm down. I'm actually serious. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, do it. I'll talk to them. I'll try and get you a hookup in
I
there.
appreciate it, man.
And they've actually switched, so they don't do 6-week bootcamp programs anymore. They do a membership, yearly membership, and
subscription-based model.
and they've.
We're going to let him. We'll fight about this later. I'm with you on it.
You don't like subscription based?
No, we
models?
love subscription.
I'm very pro subscription.
We're very pro
That's
on
the
it.
move. But yeah, like you join a membership model and you have a year access to like the analytics tab and the video review tab and like thumbnail review. Like people will review your thumbnails. You can meet people who are editors. Like there's also a whole issue where like creators don't know where to go as a marketplace.
Right.
You know, like you need a new phone, you want to buy used, you go to Facebook Marketplace, or you need shoes or whatever you're trying to buy. Creators don't have that for like editors, creative directors, like stuff like that. But in Creator Now, you'll meet so many people that like this person will know someone and that person will know someone, and you'll find your editor and it's like at the end of the day, it's what's the quote? It's like your network
Is your net worth?
Yeah. So
Spoken like a true entrepreneur, you, eh?
there you go. That's the move.
You sure you don't work for CRA?
I actually do.
Oh my God, he's a Fed.
I do.
He's a Fed. I got 2 Feds on the podcast. You heard it here first. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up, subscribe, like the video, and
twice.
twice.
Like the video twice.
Put the bell too. Come check out my boy Milad's content as well. You know, hopefully we'll have you on again, man. I'd love to be able to do part 2.
Get me here. Next time I'll come in with some like true dimes. I feel like I didn't deliver enough.
No, I think you delivered a lot, man. To be
trust.
honest, I feel like now you're getting that creative. You're getting to your analysis paralysis here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll need like a 2-hour time slot next time to get it all through.
Hey, man, I'm done. I'm done. You know what? Actually, why don't we do it? I want to try the creator now. We'll come back and we'll collaborate on something too.
Yeah.
Okay. See you next time, everybody.
All right.
No, it's fantastic.